Okay, so today we have Rebel Girl by Bikini Kill. So this band has been requested a few times, and of course that band name is obviously very captivating. Bikini Kill, like that a lot. And also coming into this, looking up Kathleen Hanna and such, the lead singer of the band, I realized that she's married to Adam Horovitz, or Ad Rock, who's from the Beastie Boys. And it all made sense because then I remembered that, yeah, her name did sound kind of familiar, but I've never listened to Bikini Kill, so, yeah, I know that she's married to him. Anyway, let's get into this, talk about it after, and let's go. Hold on. Hell yeah. Okay, so Rebel Girl and by Bikini Kill, of course. Okay, yeah, so with Rebel Girl here, I have to say, the first thing that popped in my head, because of course the drums start off the track, and as a Green Day fan, I was like, that's Know Your Enemy from Green Day. That's Trey Cool. And searching, looking at the Wikipedia page for this song, apparently Billy Joe Armstrong did say that was an inspiration for Know Your Enemy. Which, I mean, yeah, you can hear that right off the bat. That's why I think I said at the start, hold on, because yeah, it sounded so much like Know Your Enemy. And again, as somebody who's never listened to Bikini Kill, I didn't know that that's where they got their drum sound from for Know Your Enemy. So that was just cool right off the top to see that Green Day took that and again, you put that in Know Your Enemy, which it's a nice a song I like from Green Day. But anyway, so that you're right at the top. I was just like, hold the phone. That captured my attention. And what else captured my attention was Kathleen Hanna's voice. I talked about, and I don't want to talk about, Ad Rock, Adam Horovitz from the Beastie Boys, because this is, again, it's about Kathleen and about, Rebel Girl and Bikini Kill here. But I do want to say, obviously, Adam Horovitz, he has kind of a whinier, kind of a, he can do his own screeching as well. I think of a song like Sabotage, or even, especially when he did it live on Letterman, I want to say in '94. But anyway, he has his own screeches himself. He has that scream that he could do. And here as well, Kathleen has that as well. So either way, their matches are made, their voices, my goodness, are a match made in heaven. There it is. And because they both could just go crazy on the mic. And again, I know that, Kathleen's voice, it might not be, for everybody, it's not a Freddie Mercury or whatever kind of a voice. But it's such a great punk rock, And again, these girls, obviously, feminists, talking about the riot girl movement, all this stuff. And you can just hear the passion that Kathleen has. I mean, my God, every word she's saying, you believe. At least I do, and I'm not going to argue with her on any of her points, because holy shit, I feel like I'd be scared. But yeah, just such a great, voice, such a passionate vocals as well. And again, I have to go through, I talk about Kathleen so much now, but I want to go through the rest of the band here. Of course, Kathleen Hanna on vocals, and then Billy Karen on guitar. And again, just powerful guitar riffs throughout this whole song, obviously. This was just, I think about how this was, I think, released in the early 90s, I want to say. And obviously grunge was huge at that point. You had Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, all them, Pearl Jam, my goodness gracious. But, so, with all that going on, I guess, I don't really hear grunge in this at all. I want to say, my God. But, obviously just so much punk and just so much spunk, you could say as well. And that these girls, my goodness, are just, again, this song is about, not being held back, about coming to the forefront, speaking your mind, screaming your opinions and such, and just, and being fed up with, I think about, the Barbie movie that came out this year in 2023, talking about, fighting back against the patriarchy. All this stuff comes in my head, and just, talking about lifting up your girlfriends and such, your friends who are girls, all this stuff. And, yeah, we'll get to the lyrics in a second because I want to talk about that even more. But yeah, it's just, my goodness gracious, such great guitar. I mean, I gotta say, very groovy, my God. Anyway, Toby Vale on drums. And again, I talk about how she starts off the track, and I was like, hold the phone. That's Green Day. Anyway, but it's Bikini Kill, not Green Day, because Green Day stole it. Anyway, and she's on back vocals as well. And then Kathy Wilcox on bass guitar. And also, it does say here on Wikipedia, on the single release, Joan Jett provides the additional guitar and backing vocals. So I'm pretty sure this was the single release I listened to, I want to say. But either way, that makes sense, of course, with Joan Jett, who was obviously one of the first, not one of the first, you might say, but obviously a big, important figure in rock and roll for women. I think about the story of how she was a kid or whatever, and somebody, a teacher or whatever, told her that, girls don't play guitar. And obviously she took that personally. I mean, the song obviously fits Joan Jett's her own music and such, and her own influences and her own style. So that makes sense for her to do a cover and to be on this track as well. Anyway, and then we go into the lyrics here, because I think I've talked about the instruments and the people enough. Hold the phone. Here are my glasses. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, let's get to some of these lyrics. So with that girl thinks she's the queen of the neighborhood. She's got the hottest trike in town. That girl, she holds up her head so high. I think I want to be her best friend, yeah. And the way it starts off, because I'm used to, songs not being, I guess, so, so I guess in a way these lyrics are very nice, obviously, and I'm not really used to that. I'm thinking, when she says that girl is the queen of the neighborhood, I'm thinking, is she going to be like, and she's, but she's not, I am, that kind of a thing. But of course she goes on to say, I think I want to be her best friend, yeah. It's like, oh, that's nice. Well, my goodness, that's very thoughtful. And then we go into the chorus, rebel girl, rebel girl, rebel girl, you are the queen of my world. Rebel girl, I think I want to take you home. I want to try on your clothes. And these lyrics obviously are so spicy. They're so, obviously so, it's touchy, it's sexy, it's hot, all this kind of stuff. I mean, and it gets hotter, at some, different points as well. Because again, I don't know at the time, I can't, I'm not a freaking historian or whatever, but I think about, at the time, a girl saying she wants to take another girl home, and a song like this, a song that would, be, because this is, I think, their signature track, and, would get some, obviously some traction and stuff. I don't think, something like this was very, it was probably kind of taboo to hear a girl talk about another girl like this, talk about bringing another girl home. And again, I just love the stance that these girls took, obviously, and just, kind of said, F you to people who don't want to, who are against this kind of stuff. And so yeah, obviously that's great too. So anyway, when she talks, they hear the revolution. In her hips, there's revolution. My goodness. When she walks, the revolution's coming. In her kiss, I taste the revolution. It's just like, oh, I talk about, again, hot lyrics, spicy, talking about the revolution, talking about, women, I would want to say, women not being, second-class citizens, whatever, that kind of a thing. And that, women are, we can hear the revolution coming. And again, when you hear Kathleen say this, I mean, you believe her, because she's just so passionate, like I've said. Anyway, and we have the chorus one more time. And on to the third and last verse. The girl thinks she's the queen of the neighborhood. I got news for you. She is. And again, I just love that. She's, lifting your friend up here. And he goes on. They say that she's lesbian, I guess you could say. But I know she's my best friend. Yeah. And again, it's just like, it sounds like, this, I guess people might make fun of her best friend and stuff, all this stuff, but she doesn't care. She's still her best friend. And again, I just love that, that message, that thoughtful message. And it's just so nice. And then we go into the chorus one more time. And then the outro. Love you like a sister always, soul sister, rebel girl. And I believe we talked about it earlier, but I do believe that apparently Kathleen wrote this about Toby Vale. Is what I learned anyway from source, but I don't know if I already said that or not. I can't remember anymore. But yeah, and I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was hearing. And either way, just rizzing up your friends, as the kids say, rizzing, or just lifting up your friends and, being nice and thoughtful. And I mean, it can go a long way, of course. Anyway, come and be my best friend, will you, rebel girl? I really like you. I really want to be your best friend, be my rebel girl. And again, it's just, because again, you think about how guys would, usually, it's a song about a guy and a girl, whatever. You don't hear, especially back here in 1991 or whatever, these kind of songs, a girl wanting another girl. And I just love that, talking about, obviously, at the time, they were going against sexism and against, homophobia, all this stuff. And I just love how they bottled all that up and, taking a stance, obviously a progressive stance, and just delivering such a great punky song in the early 90s again. And Kathleen, again, she just gets her point across so well with that unique distinctive voice that she has. And yeah, so I just really enjoyed this, really enjoyed the message, Rebel Girl. I can't believe I've never heard this either, because again, this is a song that's pretty popular from what I see, but not familiar to me at all. And yeah, just such another great girl band. Of course, though, Billy Karen is a guy, but anyway, I just want to say that as well. But anyway, love their message. Have to say that as well. And shout out to Billy for being on the team as well. So anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. Again, this song's not too long, so this reaction shouldn't be too long. And I am feeling a little bit sick or something, so my goodness gracious, I don't know if this reaction was good or not, but either way, love this song, and tell me your opinions below or whatever. And yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I will talk to you guys again soon.